Hello, hi, goodbye, see you later. Well, is that all there is in greeting someone or saying goodbye when you leave? People in individualist cultures do not expect much in hellos or in goodbyes. Now, of course, people in communal cultures have very many different ways to greet each other, but in general, we could say that there's lots of "how are you doing" ways of talking in communal cultures. And then sometimes they'll go around a second time, greet each other yet one more time. And really, how are you doing? And the point is, they are connecting with each other. They're building up the relationship, showing that they're interested in each other, or at least trying to show that they're interested in each other. And so greetings, as well as saying farewells, these become part of nurturing the relationships. And so if you don't greet well, or if you don't say goodbye very well, you might actually be hurting the relationships. And you know, after 40 plus years of living among people in communal cultures, I still mess this up sometimes. And I forget the greetings. And greetings, of course, are much more than words. Gestures, which are very culturally bound. Handshakes, embraces, hugs, kisses, or a wave, and so on. And different types of gestures between males and females, or young and old. And all of this requires alert eyes and ears, watching other cultures and then learning to appreciate how they do greetings and farewells. And this, of course, goes both ways. The individualist culture observing the communal and the communal observing the individualist. Now, keep in mind that in some cultures, the language becomes very complex, even in the simple greetings, with different levels of informal and then formal ways to say hello, and sometimes honorifics like sir or doctor or uncle or aunt. They're part of the greeting, and you have to include them in the greeting. And then the politeness of the greeting may be embedded in the verbal forms. Now, on the other side, I know many people, both in individualist and communal, who work in international multicultural teams. They tire of the endless greetings or the ongoing farewells, because some of this can come across as superficial and even showy. So which way is better? A quick hi or a gushy flow of words? Maybe we should learn to be comfortable in both ways. And again, observe the context and greet and farewell accordingly. Another specific area of comparing direct and indirect speech is the area of agreeing or disagreeing with something. How do you say no or yes? How do you confront someone? How do you turn down a request? Or how do you make a request? Now, in individualist cultures, it is assumed you just tell the truth. Your yes and no should be straightforward. A yes, and a no means no. It is acceptable to confront, and people even enjoy the clash of ideas, which they say would help them find a better or higher idea. And companies and organizations want and accept direct feedback. Now, in communal cultures, it's just the other way around. Students, for example, do not speak up and easily ask questions. A person may not be able to say no out of respect for the elder. And if you recall in module number 2, I talked about the importance of respect in communal cultures. And this plays a key role in how we speak. If respect is so important, I got to make sure that my words are respectful in that specific context. So I cannot just simply disagree. I may say no in a maybe roundabout sort of way. And a person may say yes just in order to keep the harmony and the respect. Dwayne Elmer in this book here, Cross-Cultural Conflict, which we'll use a lot more when I talk about conflict resolution, he talks about the relational yes. Now, is there the straightforward yes? And is then there also the relational or the yes of harmony? Now, to learn to navigate the differences between different yeses and different nos, that's the challenge. To speak directly when you're from an indirect speech culture, or to learn to speak more indirectly when you're from a direct speech culture. Now, I remember years ago, back when I was doing those university studies in Pakistan, I went to this library, and the librarian, very gracious, gentle, elderly man, he showed a book to me and he said, probably said Mr. Lowen or something like that. He said, "This is a book you need to read." And I was busy at that time. He said, "Excuse me, I don't have time for it now." And then he stopped me and he said, "Mr. Lowen, we never talk like that. Rather, we say, 'Excuse me, I'm not going to be able to bother you at this time.'" So I'll never forget that cultural lesson when this elderly librarian, in a very gracious and gentle, and I would say somewhat in a direct way, for his coming from an indirect speech culture, he taught me how to say no. And I guess we could translate that into English like saying, "Sorry, I don't want to bother you today." And that has stayed with me for over 30, 40 years.